It's time for Legend of Korra Season 3, Episode 9, right? 9? So yeah, we're jumping into this episode today. Full disclosure at the top of the video, I just want to make it clear that I have had a weird day. I'm having a lot of anxieties right now. And so my mental state's a little strange today. I'm hoping that Legend of Korra, being the amazing show that it is going to be able to help me like alleviate some of those stresses, get my mind off of it. So that's the plan right now. But I just wanted to be upfront about that at the top of the video, just so like if my reaction feels off or slightly different, you know, it's all internal. It's amazing. The mind is amazing, an amazing thing. It does weird stuff to you and it changes your mental state for the stupidest stuff. So today I'm watching season 3 episode 9, and we're kind of in the depths of what I imagine is what makes this season so interesting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's making it interesting, but the fact that Zaheer and his gang are actively, you know, they're actively making moves against Korra. It's very interesting, and I can't wait because we're pretty close to the ending sections of the season. So I'm expecting we're gonna get some, you know, lore drops, exposition drops pretty soon, especially about Zaheer and who he is and why exactly he's following this path, because I don't think we've gotten deep into his motivations yet. We've gotten he talked a bit in the first episode and stuff, but I don't think it delved deep into why he's doing what he's doing. So I am curious. But anyway, if you could support this video, that would really help me out. I'm a small channel, so every little like, comment, subscription, all of that stuff really helps me out. And in the description below, you will find my Patreon account. And if you want to watch the full-length version of this reaction, sync it up with your own footage, that's on my Patreon account. As well as early access, you can get the next month of episodes. I think probably at this point, we're probably in season 4 on my Patreon account, maybe. So go check it out in the description below. It's definitely worth doing. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's jump into season 3, episode 9 of The Legend of Korra. The stakeout. Who's staking out? Or maybe they're having like a duel of cooking steaks. They're having like I guess that's more of a steak off.
Ooh, look, they have a mover poster of me. Must be big Nuktuk
Is that a wanted
fans.
poster?
Yeah. No, those are wanted posters.
Yeah.
And there's one for each of us by Her Majesty the Earth Queen. For
Damn, when did they
crimes
take
against the
mug
kingdom.
shots?
They weren't hers to keep. I swear, if again, I am gonna.
Guys?
Uh-oh.
We should get
Bounty
out of here.
hunters? Or are they just, you know, just ready to report any wanted criminals?
Now, don't get mad. Korra's fine. I'm just waiting to hear if she tracked down Aang.
Oh no, this conversation's
What?
not
You
gonna
let Korra
go well.
I thought we were on the same page about this.
You can't control the Avatar's every move.
I can try.
Okay. There's a car.
Sorry, I forgot to bring treats.
Oh,
But good girl.
poor girl. God damn. She's
This
hangry.
must be Aiwei's Jeep.
Haha! Police work is so exciting.
Your disguise is not gonna be a cape. Oh, it's a raincoat.
Named Ting Ting. War was the only woman I ever loved.
No.
Until Ivy came along and showed me what real
Why don't
love
you just
is.
be like a
Tragically,
librarian
she
or
was taken
something?
from me by my arch enemy, Dr. Razor, and he loved
Enough. I don't have a backstory.
Ooh, you're good at this.
Ooh, this is a cool shot. I like that.
And he's got this weird piercing that goes from his nose to his ear. Freaks me out.
Yeah, sure. It's like a guy who came in last night.
Okay.
I told him I had them called me a liar,
That's him.
Damn.
Any idea where he is now?
Oh, he
No,
called you a
afraid not.
liar. He
but he was right.
figured
Thanks,
out.
terrible.
Aw. Aw. He actually like read him and knew that he wasn't being sincere about it. That's funny.
What's his plan?
I don't know. But I think I found a clue.
Oh yeah.
This must be where and when Aiwei is going to meet Zaheer.
Jai Bao's grove. Why would he leave that in the car?
Where are you?
Surely that sounds like a
Go
trap.
away. I'm trying to find something.
Well, aren't you a cute little spirit?
Ah!
Hey!
He didn't look cute to me.
I think there might be a couple bounty hunters over there who recognize me.
Oh no. Or do they know you from the movies?
Let's lose him.
shit. I mean, they're running. I feel like this has got to be not great if they're running after them.
We should head back to Korra before someone else recognizes us.
Oh! There's
we could.
Mofo.
Or... All right, play it cool and follow my lead.
So did Aiwei just assume they wouldn't follow him? Maybe that's why he just left the thing in the Jeep, because he assumed that the Avatar wouldn't go after him.
But I can't find it anywhere on the map.
Let's go bust Aiwei's door down and finally get
Does
some
it have
answers.
to do with the spirits?
No.
Because they were like trying to
Once
look
Aiwei
at the
knows
map.
we're onto him, I say we stake out his room, and when he leaves for this meeting, we follow him.
And he'll
Honestly,
lead
a
us
good-
straight to Zaheer.
Honestly, a good idea. Aww, that's cute.
Good afternoon.
Last time a bunch of teenagers came in here, they trashed the whole room.
We found
Okay,
you.
so you banned. Well, I mean, they're not even.
Vending in here.
Oh, I
Take
guess
it
they're
outside.
technically teenagers, right? They're like
Whoa, whoa,
18,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
19.
We're not here to knock tuck.
Okay, yeah, they do know him from the mover.
Are you
They chased him.
Always love meeting my fans.
Oh my gosh. Oh, she loves him.
Made this Nuktuk doll for you.
Oh my god.
Happy to rent you any room in the inn.
Oh, good.
We'll just take
That's
the
good
one
then.
across from 102.
But that room is too small for the four of you.
The fact that they say
it'll be
the one
perfect.
across from 102 is kind
I
of
just
creepy.
like to state for the record that this room is not perfect. Naga! Pfft.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a tiny room. His piercing is weird. I never thought about it
Stakeouts were
until
supposed to be exciting.
he said
This
something
isn't.
about it.
Hey, look! A pie show board!
Oh, cool.
I'll play.
Oh.
But I learned Street Pie Show from Shady Shin, and I am pretty good.
I mean,
so
Asami runs in
wouldn't really be a
high-class
fair game.
circles.
So, I learned to play from my dad, the diabolical genius.
Yeah.
Looks like we have
I
ourselves
hope it's a close
pie
match.
showdown.
I want Asami to win, but I don't want her
Ladies
to
first.
just thrash him. I think that leads into the sort of trope too much. Oh, she's thinking.
Edge of your seat, game of chance. Don't
Ah.
think, just go.
They
I don't know
play
what
different
Shady Shin
versions,
taught you,
like
but
quick
it
chess
wasn't
or whatever.
the real pie show.
It is a game of both strategy and chance. Wait,
And variations on the game.
that's
Yep,
no help at
makes
all.
sense.
You need to standardize these pie show rules.
Okay, that on my to-do list, right after bringing back
That's
the Air
so
Nation and
funny.
taking down the group that tried to kidnap me.
They'll talk freely. Then we'll know who they are and what they want.
That's
That's
smart.
just like pie show.
Then I guess I know you pretty well. I win.
Checkmate.
What? Oh, all right. Oh, come on. Best 4 to 7.
Damn, she is owning him. I wish he would take
8 out of
1 or
15.
2 matches.
17 out of 33.
But I mean, it makes sense. Asami's the brains here.
Ha ha!
Oh!
Looks like you're on the ropes this time.
Oh.
I can't believe it.
Did he win?
You might actually win this one.
Oh, he might have. Oh, he was getting close. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
It's in my logbook.
I'm going over there.
Oh no.
Korra, wait! You're
Oh.
gonna blow our element of surprise.
Korra, careful.
What?
What? Oh, it's in the spirit world. Is it?
He's meditating. Wait.
The meeting's
Asami,
in the
those
spirit
spirits
world.
were trying to tell us something earlier.
Yes.
Jaibao's Grove, it's in the spirit world.
That makes
going
so
in
much
after him.
sense.
We'll watch him in
I'm
case
going
he
in
wakes
after
up.
him. Meditates quietly.
Be careful.
I know it's nowhere near them, but if she went through the spirit portal, she could go to their meeting and have Bending on her side, which would have been awesome. Careful, Korra.
I was not followed.
You left a
Oh,
loose
really?
end.
I assure you.
No, you are the loose end.
Oh, shit.
Zaheer!
Oh! Oh my god! Oh, he threw him into the fog! No way. That's fucked. I imagine because
seems
he
Aiwei
is
was
so
mistaken.
spiritual.
That's right. We knew he'd lead us straight to you.
He has good
So what
powers
did
in
you
here.
do with him?
Okay, what are we gonna do?
You deserve that much.
Okay.
What would you like to know?
Oh, this is good.
First off,
Dedicated to restoring freedom to the world, we are the Red Lotus.
The
Red
Red
Lotus?
Lotus. Cool.
are you related to the White Lotus?
That was Unalak's idea.
Okay.
My
Interesting.
uncle was part of the Red Lotus?
Misty Palms Inn.
Oh shit! He's able to.
You two go.
That's
I'll
fucked.
stay here and make sure Zaheer's body is safe.
I met your uncle
Oh, he's
when I was
so
a
good.
teenager.
He was trying to restore balance.
He closed the portals, severing humans from spirits.
Yeah, he made a mistake.
Even you realized all I wanted was to show the Avatar a better path for the world.
Okay. Oh, I want so many more answers. I love this conversation.
The lava guy found us.
How?
I just said I don't know.
Korra, come on, wake up.
Bolin and I will hold them off.
Okay. Alright, that's smart. I was thinking like what would Asami do? That's good. Okay. You have to really keep them busy. That's so fucking cool. Just turning it all to magma is amazing.
He wasn't with us that night, and he covered up his involvement afterwards.
Of course he did.
Unalaq becoming a dark avatar was never part of our
I thought
mission.
so.
But why stop there? Bringing the spirits back should only be the beginning.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Is as foolish as keeping the human and spirit realms separate.
Ah.
You've had to deal with a moronic president. If leaders like them were eliminated,
Okay.
No.
I see what his
I don't
goal
really
is.
agree with what they've done, but taking out world leaders isn't the answer.
thanks to the firelord's desire for world
That's
dominance,
true.
true freedom when oppressive governments are torn down.
But that won't bring balance.
I don't
It'll
know.
throw the world into chaos.
The natural order is disorder.
God,
know
see,
who
that's
once
where you
said,
lose me, Zaheer.
New growth.
Is that the one he mentioned at the start of the show? The start of the season, rather? God damn, having to earthbend against a magma bender.
It's like I'm giving him ammo.
Yeah,
Wanna trade?
I was just about to say that. Oh, shit. Yeah, honestly, you guys should trade opponents. Berlin handle, Minghua. Oh, careful going into the water with a waterbender around. She might just freeze you in there. Yeah, it looks... Oh, shit. Oh, she's just carrying you out of there. Shit, man! Berlin's drowning in there. Oh, okay. All right. He got his head out. Oh, no. Asami, time to awaken your earthbending.
No.
Positive difference in the world instead of destroying it.
You are a very smart young woman, Korra.
She
But
is.
You must realize that once change begins, it cannot be stopped.
Enough with your philosophical mumbo jumbo. I want to know one thing. What are you going to do with me?
You'll have that answer soon enough.
Oh, my
The Red
God.
Lotus should have you by.
Here!
Shit. Whoa! She's already captured.
And Zaheer didn't capture us. The Earth Queen's forces did.
Where
Oh,
are we?
Some camp by the desert.
the Earth Queen's
Taking
forces.
us back to Ba Sing Se.
I mean, maybe not the worst thing.
The Earth Queen's army snatched up the Avatar before I
Zaheer might break you guys out.
We're taking a trip to Ba Sing Se.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is gonna be interesting. Wow. Oh my gosh, so much in that episode. What do I want to talk about? I guess I'll talk about the end. So the Earth Queen captured them, which I think legit means that that Zaheer and the Red Lotus are going to break Korra and Asami out from the Earth Queen. That's what I feel like would happen. So because they still need Avatar Korra for whatever reason. So I think that's that's really interesting and funny. Because it's like we're kind of gonna have Zaheer on our side for a second. You know, it's kind of like in season 1 where she was captured by not Tenzin. What the heck is his name? Not Unalaq. Oh my gosh, Tarlok. That's what his name is. She was captured by Tarlok, and then Amon is the person who helped break her out. You know, and like that was really interesting, and I think it's a great way to do stuff like this because the Avatar universe is so good at like having villains not be black and white, and by that I don't just mean they make complex villains. Lots of series can make complex villains, and like that is a very hard thing to do in itself, but that's not the only reason Avatar villains are so good. It's also because they have consistent motivations, and those motivations will sometimes assist our main characters. So yeah, Amon taking down Tarlok, you know, like a lot of the times that Zuko in the early Avatar ends up helping, like for example when he was the Blue Spirit and he took he saved Aang from Commander Zhao, you know. That was something that Zuko did, you know, partially maybe because of his own sense of justice, but I think also for his own selfish reasons. You know, he had a good reason to try to kidnap the Avatar for himself, but because of that, he ended up getting Aang out of there. And with Unalaq, the way that Unalaq, you know, opened the spirit portals, and even though Unalaq was doing horrible stuff, that ends up helping the Avatar overall achieve balance, because she finds out, like she kind of comes to the realization that the spirit portals probably should be open. So the villains in this series aren't just great because they're complex and 3D and they have lots of different motivations to them, but also that the motivations aren't always opposing the Avatar. They just sometimes are. We have to stop them, but we also acknowledge that sometimes they help us. So it's really fucking interesting, and I think that's what's gonna happen, is they're gonna try to break Korra out from the Earth Queen, which also would make sense why they even set up the Earth Queen in the Dai Li in the first place, because it wasn't just like a 1 or 2 episode thing. They're still a threat. They're still out there being a threat. So the Pai Sho thing, I wanted to talk about that scene because it's Asami and Bolin going up against each other in Pai Sho. And I think I liked the setup they did of like, Bolin learned it on the streets, and Asami learned it in the sheets. No, Asami learned it from her father, and Asami, like, and I imagine Pai Sho has always struck me as like, I imagine Pai Sho is kind of like their own version of Go, you know, which I like have been thinking about Go a lot recently because it's, you know, one of the world's oldest games or whatever, and it is a game that I've seen a lot more in media just lately. I've also been watching The Glory on my Patreon account recently, and in The Glory they play Go. And so because of that, I was like, man, I think I want to understand these scenes a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. So I'm going to make sure I learn the rules of Go, which I'd looked them up in the past and like watched a YouTube video on them like years ago. But this time I actually was like, okay, I'm going to just like play a little bit of Go just to see, you know. I'm not going to become good at Go because it's a really fucking hard game. It's really tough. It's a weird combination of like the base rules are very simple, but there's so many edge cases and things that it's like difficult to like wrap your head around, and it's hard as a beginner to like analyze the game, to like look at a board and go like, okay, this person's winning, you know. So but like I imagine it's like that, but like in this world they showed, like, I imagine that it's kind of a bit more of a high class game at times, and so I would think that Asami would run in high class circles, and that's where she would learn the game from. But what I wanted from the episode was for them to make sure that it wasn't just like Asami winning, because like I feel like with Bolin saying like he learned it on the streets and he grew up playing it and stuff, like I would want to show the fruits of that. And I feel like a lot of the time I am someone who I think a lot about writing. I think a lot about representation in writing, and something that I think about very often is like female characters in writing. And we've come a very, very long way with female characters in media over time, where like I would say, and I'm not really in a great position to say this being a man myself, but I think at this point in media, we have so much content that is that portrays women very well. So, and it's something that I look for in media as well, where I also, like, not to say that everything that I like portrays women perfectly. It doesn't. Sometimes I will like female characters who are very one-dimensional. I'm not even going to say sometimes. A lot of the time, there are one-dimensional female characters that I really, really like, despite the fact that they're one-dimensional. and clearly written to be like the ideal woman in a man's eyes and whatever, you know. And I'll cop to that because like sometimes that's just the type of thing that I like. And but I also like to think about it a lot. I think that's a good thing for us to do, is like we can acknowledge sometimes that some things aren't like the paragon of writing or whatever, but at the same time, like we can enjoy it and just like think about it, you know, think about what it means and why that character's doing what they're doing and stuff. And then I think that's still a good thing overall. So the reason I'm saying all of this, I didn't mean to put a feminist angle to this scene, but I was actually just kind of pointing out like a trope that I see a lot with more modern media, which is they're pushing so hard back against the idea of like male dominated media that in scenes they will very often have like a man and a woman, and the man will be like, I'm gonna crush you, and she'll be like, okay, and then she wins every single game against the man, and it makes the man look like an idiot and stuff, which, fair enough, the man gets his comeuppance. I mean, obviously, I don't think Bolin was doing it because Asami's a woman. I don't think Bolin has a misogynist bone in his body, as far as I can read of his character. He seems like a very sweet person who treats everyone the same. So, but just as from a meta angle, when we're looking at it from a bird's eye view, that's kind of something that would be in the viewers' heads. It's like, oh, it's a man and a woman, but the woman's probably going to win this one because she was underestimated at the start of the scene or whatever. And so sometimes that trope comes up a lot, and it's not a bad trope necessarily. Not all tropes are bad. This trope isn't necessarily terrible, where it's like, you know, she ends up destroying him. But at the same time, a lot of the time what I want is just for them to, like, to do it a little bit, but also make sure that we're not being like, and therefore women are better, you know, like that. I don't want that to be the through line of the scene. Like, they're underestimated and they're better. I think like a pretty good example of it in my mind is Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I don't know how many people have seen Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I don't think I'll be spoiling anything necessarily except like a gag. But in Kaguya-sama, Love is War, in season 3, they do an arm wrestling competition, and it kind of bases that whole thing on the sexist angle of like, of Chika's like, oh, you know, you're very weak for a boy or whatever, and he's like, yeah, well, I can still beat you, and they do that whole build up and stuff. But I feel like in that episode, they give a lot of good reasons that certain characters would be better than other characters, and so it's like they'll have Chika and Ishigami face. Well, actually, that happened later, but they'll have Chika and Shirogane face off, and Chika's about to win, but she is only about to win because she's cheating, which like goes into her personality. But then with Ishigami and Shinomiya, Shinomiya wins because she's a fucking archer and she constantly pulls back this really heavy bow. Like, she's got great arm strength. And then because of that great arm strength, but also Shirogane does a lot of hard labor. So between Shirogane and Shinomiya, it's a more difficult thing. But then Shinomiya ends up winning for whatever overall reasons and stuff. And then in the after credit scene, it's like Ishigami beats Chika, and I can sort of believe that. I mean, I think they'd be a close battle, but I think Ishigami would be like a little bit stronger, and Chika would kind of have a bit more of a bigger head over her own strength and think that she's stronger than she is. So, like, there's a lot of good character reasons for it, and I never felt like a win in that situation was for a gender-based reason. This is a weird tangent for me to be going on, for me to not critique The Legend of Korra, because The Legend of Korra didn't do anything wrong in this scene. I was worried about something that I anticipated possibly they'd be doing, but these writers are so good, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing way better than I do. So I have but I just thought maybe that was an interesting enough perspective to share, because I'm not just here to like say what the show's doing wrong or right. I'm also here to fucking talk. Like, this is my channel. I'm talking about the things that I know and that I find interesting. So you can just sit there and fucking listen. Anyway, was there anything else? I mean, I have a lot of notes for this episode, but I'm seeing if there's any like major things that I want to talk about. It's interesting that the Red Lotus, and that they talked about what the White Lotus is and what they were supposed to be. I get Zaheer's motivations. He's like kind of, I guess in the similar way of, not Tarlok, what's his name? Unalak. In a similar way to Unalak, he's like 90% there. Same with Amon. All these villains, they're like 90% there, where I agree with a lot of what they're saying. And then the very final step is like, but that's wrong, you know? Like you can be like, yes, so my house is full of spiders. It is absolutely like the spiders on all of the walls. We need to get rid of these spiders. I can't live in this house. It's terrible, and everyone else is just ignoring them. But I don't want to ignore them. I need to make sure that that these spiders are all dealt with. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I agree. I don't want to live with spiders. I think all these people are ignoring the spiders, so I agree with you. And then he goes, so we should burn the house down. And I'm like, stop. That's let's try some other stuff first. You know, like that's where you kind of lost me. And that's the sort of things Zaheer is doing. And it's, when you write a character like that, what you get is you often get people who, they agree with the 90% part so much, that they will then say, well, Zaheer is completely right. You know, he's 100% right with everything that he said, and Korra should be killed or whatever, you know? Like, I think Korra is right where she's like, I don't know, I think you're right, kind of, but I don't think we should necessarily be taking down the leadership right now. But it's tough, you know? It's a really complex problem. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not educated enough for it. I'm just, especially like politically educated. No way. I can talk about writing all day. I'll do another 20 minutes talking about gender roles in media. But when it comes to me making a political stance, no fucking way. I have no idea. So I'm excited to see like what this show, like either what a statement it makes, or even, I don't think it necessarily needs to make a strong statement, except for the idea of what Zaheer is doing is wrong. Sometimes that's all you need, you know? Like someone can have a point and still be wrong, and you can take them down, and you don't necessarily need to solve their problem. It would be great if you did, but if it's a complex situation, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you legitimately don't know how to solve a problem, but you need to stop the person with a flamethrower heading for your house, you know? So that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking. But yeah, anyway, I'll just end it there. I've done a long enough discussion, so I'm gonna end that one there. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. My Patreon account's in the description below for full-length early access. You can get the next like 4 episodes at least on my Patreon account right now, so go check that out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.